Good evening, everyone present here. We, Medha Singh,
And Asanyo Upadhyay.
on behalf of Infinito, the annual Sports Fest of IIT Patna.
Heartily welcome you all as we take off to new heights with this edition of our fest. Joining us today for our first guest lecture, Skiing My Way Through, we have Miss Aanchal Thakur, an Indian alpine skier.
It's a matter of great honor for us to be in the presence of such an eminent personality. Hailing from a sports centric family, Aanchal ma'am entered her first international skiing championship at the age of 16.
And in the 2018 Alpine Edda 3200 Cup, she created history by grabbing the bronze medal and becoming the first Indian skier ever to claim a medal in an international skiing event.
She has also represented India at the 2012 Winter Youth Olympics, being the first Indian skier to bag multiple medals in international skiing events.
We joined her as she tells us about the work and struggles which gets hidden under her numerous achievements.
Saying so, we sit back as Aanchal Thakur ma'am shares her exciting story with us.
The stage is all yours, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with IIT Patna, and I'm really thankful. And I want to say thank you all for having me here. And today I'm here to share my journey, share my skiing journey, how I started and how it's going, and what are my future plans. And would love to have some questions from you so I can answer them and share with you all. So you are going to ask me questions on the chat or?
Yeah, ma'am. So we'll begin with the first question, which is like, what was your overall experience as a female skier? Since skiing is in itself a very underrepresented sports in India.
As a female, actually, I think most of the sports person have same life, and maybe especially in India we have a little bit difference for female sports person and male sports person. So some of the things happened with me also, and some of the things that I think I was fortunate about, that I had no discrimination about being a female. So because I belong to a family where my parents have never discriminated between me and my brother. They have trained me as much as they trained my brother. So I think there was no problem for my family. But yes, there were some challenges because this sports is, I think, not many people know in India, especially because we have really a less part in India that we can get to see snow, because snow is always in the mountain areas, and India is so huge that most of the world know India with the name of India is a hot country. But we have Himalayas in the north, and I belong to very north part of India, that is Himachal Pradesh, and my village name is Burua, in Manali. So we have snow here, people know skiing here, but the whole country doesn't know what is skiing. Even some of people think that skiing and ice skating is same thing, but then I have to explain people I meet that no, I don't do ice skating, I do skiing. And also because here we don't have that much of infrastructure that we can get to get professional training in India. So as a female, as we know that we our parents want that, okay, they can't travel alone, because I think there is some, I don't know, some community issues, or we live in a society that, okay, they think that, okay, ladki akele nahi ja sakti. So we have to travel to Europe. And then when I was young, as a female athlete, our parents used to send someone with me, or jo, and the expenses jo kharcha hota hai, that then it multiplies, and that is the big issue. And also, when someone says that, okay, you are a female and you need to be independent, or kuch aisa, you know that cricket is a very popular sport in India, and one a girl can make a really great future with cricket, or I think very other popular sports like tennis or badminton. But कुछ लोग आके कहते हैं, ओके यू आर डूइंग अ गेम जिसमें कोई स्कोप नहीं है, आप अपनी लिविंग कैसे करोगे, हाउ यू विल अर्न, यू शुड फोकस ऑन योर स्टडीज, और फिर कोई जॉब ढूंढ लो. And that makes me really sad that okay, skiing is not very popular in India, but I am playing for India like other girl is playing for India in other sports. So this is my passion, and I will continue it. I was continuing it because I loved this sport, and I will be like, I will be working hard because I want to always represent my country with full passion, with my great performance. And yes, till I retire, I will be focusing on my sport no matter what people say.
That was very inspiring, ma'am. So, what we wanted to ask next was, how did you start skiing, and what was your first experience about related to skiing?
Okay, actually, I started skiing when I was very young. I was 5 years old when I started skiing, and I started it on wooden skis that my bua made for me, and some of our cousins. We used to play. We all used to play in just one wooden ski, and because we that time we could not afford the original skis. And when I was 7, then I got original skis from my dad, and that was like a dream come true. And we used to go to a nearby resort, Solang Valley, and then and that time we used to wait for winters because every day when we wake up, we used to watch outside that, okay, is there snow or not, and then we used to like run if there's snow. And it just started like that. We used to go to train to Solang Valley every day by walk, because that time the roads were blocked because of heavy snowfall. And even it took almost 2 hours from my home to that resort, and then then there we again hike up to get some elevated slope to get to the top and come like really like a bird with full speed. And yeah, it started like that. And at that time I never thought that, okay, I would take this sport as my profession. We were doing it just for fun, like other children of my village used to ski. So but when I started participating in competitions when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, and then my parents saw my performance that, okay, she's doing great. And I also got guidance from my brother, Himanshu Thakur. And then they pushed me in this sport. Okay, she's doing great. And then when I was 13, I went for my first internationals in Lebanon. And that was a great experience for me. At age of 13, I was representing my country. Yeah, it was a great experience, and that's all how it started.
Okay, ma'am. So, family and friends play an important role, like in your journey as a skier.
So could you repeat your question, please? Actually, I didn't get your question. If you can
Oh,
repeat for
okay,
me.
okay, okay. So, like, how was your like family and friends? Like, how did they influence you in like your journey as a skier?
Okay, actually, I think I would say that is the most important part of my life. My family, who supported me, because my father, who was a national champion of his own time in skiing, and my brother is an Olympian, 2014, and I would say my father was much more passionate about skiing than us. um, he always pushed us. I would say even my mother, they both never pressurized us for studies. Even I was a very brilliant student in school, but when I grew up, I myself chose this sport, and I pushed myself into this sport. And I would say my father trained me, as I said earlier, trained me like my brother. He was coaching us since we were training here in Solang Valley, and then when we went to Europe for training, then he accompanied us. Even my mother used to stay alone at home for 2 to 3 months. That was a very long time. So my mother's contribution is a lot. And even I would say about my uh, other family members, like my tauji, my taiji, my cousin brothers, my masi, my bua, everyone is worried about our sports. Okay, how they are doing, are they doing training here, are they going to Europe for training, and what are their results, what are their future goals, everyone is worried about. And my friends also, they always motivate us to do more, because I know every athlete gets a point in his life when he thinks that, okay, um, I would say that is a saturation point, when they say, okay, we are working so hard, but we can't see the results. I know in 2014, when we were trying to qualify for 2014 Olympic Games, uh, and season before that, 2013 and 2014 one, we were traveling for 2 to 3 months, racing from one place to another place. Like, we were tired at the end, because we were working so hard, but then in the races, when we saw our points, when we saw our results, that okay, we are not getting the results, me and my brother were really demotivated, demoralized. Okay, we are tired, we'll not able to do this. And then when we came back home, our parents were there to motivate us. I know I went back to my school for my studies. I used to study in Kullu, like 50 kilometers from my home. And then, even after a week, I got a call from my home that, okay, come back. You have to go back to Europe again to try once more for to qualify for Olympic Games. And I remember that me and my brother, we both were very angry. Okay, we said, "Jab ho hi nahi raha, to then why are you trying?" Then they again motivated us. Okay, no problem, but you try once, because you have one more chance, you should try, and then we'll see what happens. And my mother was giving me a camera to, okay, you should take some pictures, you go. And we were very angry. Okay, we don't want camera, we don't want anything, okay, we are going. But then we went there, we went to Turkey at that time, and then for the qualification races. And there we did some races, and then we saw the result that my brother Himanshu was qualified for Olympic Games. And that was an incredible moment. And then there we realized that we should never quit, we should never give up, because you never know that what is there behind the corner, uh, what is there for you in the next step. You should never give up, and just go for what you have. Just do whatever you can. So yes, I would say the family support was the greatest thing in our lives.
And yeah,
सुनाई पड़ा? Ma'am, our next question will be, who is your role model in the field of skiing?
I really admire Lindsey Vonn from US. She's retired now, but she was or is, I can say, is an incredible skier. When she was an active athlete, she had a lot of injuries. I think more than 50 injuries in her athlete career, and but still she never gave up. She inspires me a lot. And also the other one is also from US, Michaela Schifrin, and she is brilliant, especially in slalom that I play the same discipline. I play two disciplines, giant slalom and slalom, and Michaela plays slalom really well, and I really follow her.
Uh,
Okay, we can have next question.
that was very nice to know, ma'am. Question, 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 question.
Like I wanted to know like what was your like struggles that you faced in like early stage of your career as like a skier.
As a skier, I would say, because we can say that, okay, in India we have a really lack of infrastructure for winter sports, because of, I think, a very limited areas that we have for skiing. And I think our government, our administration had never paid that attention to winter sports as much as they paid to summer sports. And that's why, like I said earlier, because here there was a lot of snow in winters, and the roads were blocked for 10, 15 days, and sometimes for a month. And we used to walk from our home to Solang Valley, 2 hours with those heavy skis and boots on our shoulder. And then again we used to hike up, because we don't have chairlifts here that can take us up to the start point. It was very hectic, because the energy that we would use in the techniques we would use in our to make progress in our skiing, that energy was wasted in hiking up. I think that was the biggest challenge. Even still, it is a challenge for us here. Even for the nationals, I would say we go by hiking up to the start point, and then the energy that we actually had to use in the competition, half of energy gets wasted in hiking up. So these are the challenges about infrastructure. And the other things were that the skis, because we, as I told you, we started skiing in wooden skis, and those wooden skis are very different from the original skis. And when we used to ski in the wooden skis, the techniques are different, and we never had the compact boots that are made for the skiing. Those are with the inner and shell outside it to cover it. It's a very stiff boot. But when we used to ski with the wooden skis, we used to ski with our normal shoes. There was a thread tied to skis, and that we used to tie up in our boots and just go down. So it made a really big difference. It would make a really big difference if we started skiing with original skis earlier. And then also we never got any professional training in India when we were young, because that made a really huge difference. Because I know when we went to our first internationals in Lebanon, that was a really a big I would say I got really demotivated there when I saw my results in the first internationals, because I saw skiers there with uh, different techniques, with their high level. We were like demoralized. Okay, हम तो इनसे 100 साल पीछे है. It felt like that. And somehow I think that was because of lack of professional training in India. So even still we are searching for professional coaches here in India, that the problems we face, that upcoming generation should not. That's why we used to go to Europe, and that the, I would say skiing is really one of the very expensive sports. So the funds was the really big issue in our lives from very childhood, because we pay almost 200 euros to a coach for a single day, and we have to spend our money for the lifts to go up. We have to spend our money ourselves for our flights, for our accommodation, and it really takes up to really high amount. So that's why these are the challenges, because I think all difficulties are because of the because this sport is very less known in India. But now I think from 2 to 3 years or 4 years, people are getting to know about skiing, to know about winter sports. So I hope in future we get sponsors, we get funds. Our future generation should not suffer as we did, especially if government cannot make resorts here in very early, because I know it takes a really long time, but at least we can get coaches from Europe. They can come here and they can teach our new generation, new skiers. So yes, there I think one day we can see gold medal in Olympic games in winter sports too.
Ma'am, that was very insightful. And if you could please elaborate your daily practice sessions and daily routines, and what is the procedure needed in this field of skiing.
I think for a sports person, always there's a very strict routine, and especially if I talk about skiing, when I'm during winters, when I'm training, we have to start very early in the morning, because we have to go to the top of the mountains, and we start when it's dark outside, because the slopes are, as I said, because we have to uh, go for training to Europe, and then we never get any hotels very near to our ski resort. So always we have to manage our funds, our expenses, that okay, we can stay where we get cheaper accommodation. So we have to start really early when we are very far from the resort, because the resort area is very expensive. So we start early, and then we have to reach 7:30 to the slope area, and then we go for training till 11, and then from 11 we have a break, and then again we go for training, and then at 1 we come back to our accommodation, and then we do our lunch, and then we have to really take rest to have some recovery, because the skiing training, the skiing sessions are really, I can say, they are really hectic. They are very even your mind gets very affected by skiing, because you are on very high altitude, and your body is really pressurized with in at that altitude. So you really need to take some break or a sleep of 2 hours, and then after that we get up for our physical training. We go for running, we go for cycling, and some other games, and after that we do gym. A lot of we really need a lot of weight training for our legs, especially because skiing is most about our legs, our back, and our abdominal, our core. So we do a lot of exercises especially for balance also, because in skiing, balance, normally when a person thinks about skiing, they will think about balance. Okay, how I will balance on those skis, and the others are the next step of about techniques. So we do a lot of balance trainings with the board, with roller skating, with the slackline rope. So these are the different exercises, and then again from next day we have the same program. And when I'm at my home, I do different activities at home, because here in the mountains we have a lot of opportunity to keep ourselves fit. We can involve ourselves in adventure activities like paragliding, in rafting, in climbing. So I really enjoy going for the treks, because going to the treks makes us mentally fit and also physically fit. So I prefer to go on hikes when it's a good day. So yes, the all everything is all about skiing, how your one activity will be benefit for your skiing. So yeah.
Mhm. Ma'am, that was really interesting to know. Now, we would like to take some questions from the audience. And the first question is from Tanish. What kind of weather do you face during your training? Like, what kind of weather is there?
Okay, the weather, I would say the weather is uncertain. There can be sudden fog, there can be sudden storm, there can be sudden very wind. Because I remember when I was 13 years old, I was after my first internationals. It was my second international in the same year. I went to Italy for children championships, and I remember that that time my father was my coach, and I finished my race, and then we had to go to the next slope, which was connected from the top, and then. My father said, okay, we'll not go to bottom by bus, we'll just ski from one top part to other top part. I said, "Oh, okay." And suddenly there was a lot of fog, I was not able to see even my father, who was just maybe 3 meters ahead of me. And one interesting thing about fog in the mountains is that while skiing, that you get fainted, because because you cannot see anything but you are moving. I remember that was a really drastic experience of mine, because I was not even able to see my father, and I was moving. I was not knowing where I'm going, where is the slope, where is the way. And then I said to my father, okay, please give me your pole. I will hold it, and so I can follow you. So yes, that was my first experience. And after that, we saw even sometimes in the places like New Zealand, you will be always frozen. Your face will be frozen because it's too cold there. And when, especially if there is wind, the snow comes to your face, and it just stucks like this. And you are all with the snow, your goggles are like you cannot see anything outside, and it makes your training really hard. And some the I can tell you my the the temperature in which I survived was minus 30 degrees Celsius in Switzerland. It was I can't express those feelings into words, that how I was feeling training in that temperature. So yeah, skiing is an adventure, and if I choose to ski, it means I have to deal with all the weather situations.
Ma'am, that was very nice to know. The next question we have from Abhinav. So it goes as could you please tell us about the way skiing competitions are held and how do you prepare yourself for any upcoming competitions?
The skiing competitions here in India and in Europe. I mean, what would you like to know? The ski competitions about India or Europe? Okay, I will tell you some series of competitions and how we are selected to for internationals. Okay, so when I was young, I used to participate in Manali Cup. That was only for the skiers from Manali and to increase interest of new young athletes to take up this sport and to participate more in this sport. And there are two disciplines which are main disciplines here are slalom and giant slalom. In slalom there will be gates, like a single pole, and then the next pole is around 10 to 15 meters far. And we will have here in Manali we will have almost 25 gates, and then we have to come downhill from the top, and we have to go like around those gates. And in slalom you can also hit those gates because you need to go very close to those gates the to make your timing, because in skiing the one who reaches first there in the finish line is the topper, because you need to go speed, because it's very technical game. At this you need to go very fast, but at the same point you also have to turn around those gates, so it's very tricky. Because if someone goes very far or around the gates, even if he or she is very fast, but they will lose timing, because that's why you need to stay very close to those gates. That is called slalom. And then the next is giant slalom. In that event the gates are almost 25 to 30 meters away from each other, and the speed is more in that event. The rules are almost same for the giant slalom. And then the other event that happened here in India was super giant slalom, in which the length between the gates is more than giant slalom. And in Europe there are many other disciplines played. Those are downhill. One of them is downhill, in which the course is almost 1 to 2 kilometers long, and the speed goes to 130 kilometers per hour. Like one athlete is going that fast. So I would say the skiing is very risky. At the same time, you need to be very brave when you start at the start point. And if I would say about my experience when I'm at the start, it's like a battle between being aggressive and calm at the same point. Because if you are calm, then you'll not perform well, because you have to go downhill and you don't know what are the challenges between. There are some bumps in the between, jumps in the between, so you have to be very aggressive so you can tackle anything in between. So yes, these are some of the disciplines. And how you prepare, yes. Normally for the competitions we have to train a lot on slope and off slope. Off slope, as you all know, for every athlete or every sports person, to stay fit, to stay conditioned for, especially for their particular sport, is very important. Okay, we can have next question.
Okay, ma'am. That was really interesting to know, ma'am. Now, the next question is, what are your current plans for future as far as the skiing is concerned?
At the moment, we were actually trying to qualify for Winter Olympic Games 2022, but unfortunately, because of I would say financial problems, because as I told you that skiing is a really expensive game, and because of these 2 years of COVID-19, we lost our training sessions from last 2 years, and we were not able to get any professional training. And also in India we cannot have that professional training, and we could not travel to Europe because of the restrictions. And now for this 2022 Olympics, we had a lot of issues because of finance and funds. So we try to gather funds from here and there, but at last we could not do much. But we went to Europe, and then when we went to Austria for our training. And when we went there, we did training for almost 2 or 3 weeks, and then again there was lockdown in Austria for 20 days. It was I would say it was very we were frustrated a lot at the time, because we the deadline was coming for the qualification of Olympic Games, and it was not going the way we wanted or the way we expected. So now we could not participate into the races, because a lot of races were cancelled because of this COVID situation. And also we could not participate in the races as much as we needed for the qualification. So yeah, we crossed the deadline and we were not able to do it. But for next Olympic Games, the next goals are 2026 Winter Olympics, that will be in Milano in Italy. And now we are trying that we would find sponsors, or so that we can start from very this moment, we don't have to face the difficulties like last time. So yes.
Definitely, ma'am. We hope as soon as this COVID situation and everything gets over, we hope to see more of your matches. And the next question we have from Rakesh Kumar, which is, what was your hard time in your skiing career?
uh my hard time, I think, was this one, 2022, that I told you. And one I told you the saturation point when that came in 2013, when we thought that okay, we are not going to do anything now, because we are trying so hard, we are working hard, but we are not getting any results out of it. And one thing, the hardest time was trying to qualify for Youth Winter Olympics 2012. I know I was very young. I have some memories from that time, because I was told to qualify almost 8 races in New Zealand. And that time, before, I was using the skis of size 140 centimeters, and I used to I used to run those skis very well, because I was used to those skis. And then when I came to know that for the Youth Winter Olympics, you have to use the skis of length 175 centimeters. And they were really, really long for me. And I was like, okay, I cannot do it. How I will do it? Because those skis were very long for me. My legs are not that my legs were not that strong that time, that uh, I could manage to ski with those long skis. So I was very upset with my actually I was upset with my family, that why you are giving me these long skis. But then they said, okay, you have to use, because these are the specification from International Federation of Skiing. uh, that is the international body for skiing. Then they said, okay, we will send you for training to New Zealand first, and then you have to do the qualification races. And I remember that training session was hardest for me with those tall skis. But I kept on going. I trained in um, that temperature. As I told you, it was freezing cold there, and fortunately I qualified my 8 races for Winter Olympics, and that was the happiest moment at that age.
Now, ma'am, would you like to would you like to share some memories that you had during your overseas, like when you went overseas for skiing competitions?
Okay, I would. I think I gave very serious. I shared very serious things about my career. I would like to share a funny thing. When me and my cousins, we were training in Italy, and as I told you, we have a chairlift to go to the top point, and there is, it's like a chair, and then there is a bar that comes in front of us to rescue us so that we don't fall down. And normally when we get up on that lift, and then we bring that bar down in front of us, and then when we reach at the top point, then we take it up, and then we um, go. And I remember me and my cousin Varsha, she was almost every time with me for our trainings. We were always together. And I remember that day, there was a lot of snow in Italy in that season, and we sat on chair. We were just talking. I don't know what we were talking, just random things. Okay, and I was like, I was doing my skis like this to touch the snow. I was touching the snow, and I was telling her, okay, look at my skis. I can still touch the snow. We were going up, but I can still touch the snow. And somehow my skis got stuck in the snow and I fall down. Uh, and my cousin was talking to me, and then suddenly she saw that, okay, she's not here. I was down there, and she said, oh, you fell, and I even didn't know that. That was really funny moment. And then suddenly uh, the man who was there, he stopped the lift, and then I went back again, and we were just laughing whole day. And the interesting thing about that run was, we did not bring that bar down. If we had uh, we had brought that down, I would have fractured my leg or something like that. Fortunately, yes.
Ma'am, one question we would like to ask that how do you plan your diet to remain fit and active?
um I would say that it is a God gift for me that I don't like junk food. So it is very easy for me uh, to follow my diet plans, because I don't include anything that is normally that is bad for athletes. So I am always into healthy food. When my friends tell me, oh, okay, let's go to eat pizza or burger or something like that, I, I I never say yes, because I don't like pizzas, I don't like pasta. So it is very easy for me. I can eat anything that is healthy. If you tell me to eat something that I have never eaten, but you tell me that it is healthy, I will eat it anyway.
Ma'am, that was really different to know that you don't like junk food. Like nowadays, everybody likes junk food.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the next question will be, how can an amateur like who does not know anything about skiing, like start learning to ski and later continue to like pursue it as a career, like the career?
I would like to say, s- if somebody wants to learn, I would like to say, please take up this sport. This is a very beautiful sport, because you are purely connected to nature. You are very close to nature, because the kind of sights your eyes catch when you come down, when you are sliding down uh, through mountains, it's incredible. The views are incredible. You feel fresh air, you feel wind hitting your face. Mm, I think I've I would say it will be a meditation for you. You don't have to do any extra meditation for your mental health, and you will be, of course, you will be physically fit with skiing. And other thing I would like to say, to say that you have to be brave, because this is an adventure sport. So there will be very adventurous things happening to you while skiing. So you have to be brave. You don't have to doubt yourself. Okay, you can doubt yourself to some point, that okay, मैं कैसे करूंगी या मैं कैसे करूंगा, मुझसे नहीं होगा. But that is the thing, that we will come to the results, that you are making impossible things possible. So you have to doubt yourself, but you have to also see that what are your limits, what you can do. So you can take up this sport as a career also, because now it is becoming a very like fast growing sport in India at the moment. And people are very interested in adventure sports like skiing, paragliding, rafting, mountain climbing, mountain runnings, mountain cyclings. So yes, you, if you are into adventure sports, of course, one day everyone is gonna recognize you.
Ma'am, that was very like, obviously everyone, lot of people like adventure sports, and that, so I could relate it to a very personal level. And but the so lastly, we would like to ask, what message would you like to give to the aspiring sports persons who have joined us today, like not just in skiing but in any other sport, in any general sport, not just particularly skiing?
Okay, I would like to say, first, okay, everybody says mehnat karo, work hard. But I would like to say, first, you have to figure out that what is your goal. If you are working hard and you don't know what you want to do, and don't see just, okay, you I want to bring gold medal in Olympic Games. That is not just, that is not the thing, that it ends up here, and okay, you are working hard. But how? But you have to figure out how you will reach to Winter Olympic Games, or any Olympic Games. How you will win a gold medal for Olympic Games. You have to make series of your I think I can say, you have to imagine the different phases you will go through in that journey. So you have to work according to that. You have to set your goals for, I can say, for a day. You have to start with the day. Okay, today you will do this, and in a month you have to get to this point, and in a year your progress has to be done to that point. So work hard, but you have to also work smart. Otherwise there is no meaning of working hard. And if you are, if you know that, okay, these are my goals, these are the steps I have to go through, then just don't leave even a single stone unturned to achieve your goal. And one more thing, there's no elevator in the um, in the world of success. I would say there's no elevator. You have to go step by step through stairs, because normally I can say the are stairs are hard work. And normally when people doubt, sometimes people doubt, okay, uh, शायद मेरा लक नहीं है, शायद मेरे लक में ये नहीं था, तो आई वुड से दैट लक इज दैट एलिवेटर and the hard work is the stair. So elevator can stop any time if we say, okay, the uh, if somebody can switch off the light, or there's no electricity, something can happen to elevator. But what happens to stair? Stair is always there and the steps are always there, so please choose to go step by step. You will always reach to success. That's a key point that I always tell everyone, that go step by step. There's no shortcut for success, or there's no elevator in the world of success. And the next thing I would like to say, that don't get demotivated by seeing person who's saying I can do this, and somehow somewhere you are doubting yourself, okay, पता नहीं मुझसे होगा कि नहीं होगा, मैं कर पाऊंगा या मैं कर पाऊंगी नहीं. And if someone is saying I can do this, it doesn't mean that he only can do this and you cannot do this. Just make impossible things happen. There is much more greatness in a person who is first afraid of something and then he uh, make happen that thing. So doubt yourself and then find your limits, what you can do. And next thing I can say, a general thing to every sports person, every person, that stay away from drugs. Guys, these things are even going, I can say, popular in girls nowadays. So if you are into this, or you are close to the group who is doing this, you should not do this, and even tell your friends or those groups that don't do this. Because now at this age you are doing drugs because, okay, chalo kar lete hain, kya fark padta hai, I'll not do this anymore, I'll do this one time. But that one time you know that then what happens. So please stay away from drugs and set your goals and work hard for it. That's all.
Yes, fam, that is we will be really determined for our goals, not getting demotivated. And with this, we approach to the end of today's lecture. Thank you, ma'am, for taking your time out of your busy schedule and gracing us with your presence here. It was really mesmerizing to hear about your journey and amazing and thrilling moments you've had. Further, your words of wisdom have really motivated us, and we have got to know about this different kind of sports, like skiing, not so very popular like among, but uh, like like cricket or any other sport. But yeah, and your dieting habits are like the amazing God gift that you have got of avoiding the junk food. It is really appreciable. We hope that you succeed in all your future endeavors and bring laurels to India.
Ma'am, you have inspired a lot of students today, and you really are a role model to all of us. We also
Thank
thank
you.
everyone present here in the audience for joining us in this exciting journey. But this is only the beginning of something more enthralling. Infinito, IIT Patna has many such enlightening lectures and exciting events in store for you. So stay tuned. With this, I, Ishani,
And I made her.
sign off. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Sri Antaragina.